Good evening. So it's a bit strange to be in Lille and to speak in English, but I try to do my best. I think Goulven wanted to share the video with the rest of the world. Sure, I hope they can understand my English. First of all, when I had to work about that, I started to watch the dictionary and what about the definitions of innovation. So you can find innovation, the first definition you can find is to change by spirit, to change the things by spirit and desire of novelty. Sure, this is not true, this is not wrong, but I think it's more than that. And you can be helped by several authors who has wrote many things about subject. And my best was Herbert Land, and I have to read because I don't want to transform the terms he used. Innovation is not to have new ideas, but to stop to have old ones. And I think this is a real thing. You have to watch how you work and to think, okay, this is good, this is bad, and I want to change something. I think if you think like that, you are on the way for innovation. You have a botanic definition of innovation, and I like that. I like that. And so, what is this one? Innovation is only an extension of the stalk by the development of a new bud. It's really interesting because when you have a new idea, maybe you can expect that in the rest of the world, somebody has already the same idea of you. It's not really a randomization of idea, a geoparadise of idea, but maybe you can be helped by somebody else. And you never start from nowhere. You never start from zero. You have always a same you can start from. Albert Einstein said also that if you were never wrong, you never try to innovation. You understand with innovation. And maybe the last one, and after I move, Jean Aurieux said very true thing that in politics, innovation is always a betray. I think we have many politicians with innovation. Just a few words about politics. When you want to change something in medicines, at the end, or probably in one moment in the life of your project, you have to manage with politics. And you have to change the current rule, the current mind of things. And I think in medicine, in the next time, for the next century, we have many things to change and to prepare for the future. 30 years ago, I decided to become a military doctor. I was 18, and just after the baccalaureate, I engaged in the military school in Lyon. And just a few words about that, because that's why I chosen this picture. I had a very small period for military training. And one of the most impressive exercise I had to do at this time was the walk of silence. Just in a few words, we were in Brittany, and we had to work one by one in a forest, in a small path, at night. So we didn't see nothing. We just only have to walk straight away, try to not fall in the pitfalls. We could be helped only by the touch of the ground, by the trees, by the sounds around you, and to try to do that as fast as we could. I think the aim of the objective was really more strategic. That's what I explained tonight. But I think this is the current way for innovation. At the beginning, you don't know nothing, you can't view nothing, and you can be helped only by some unusual things, by by your knowledge, by somebody, by the organization around you, but you have to manage with the organization because you want to change the organization. So you have to know very well all your environment, all your universe. I think it was really good. And you know, in this exercise, after a few minutes, 20 minutes after the start, you start to see something because you know with your eye cells, you need times to be used with the darkness. And it's the same on the way of innovation. After a few months, after a few years, you have developed new tools, you know better things, your knowledge is better, and you can move faster. So I think it was really a good exercise, and it was very inspiring for innovation. And you know, you never know how your mind is combined, and how one morning you wake up and you say, okay, I want to do that, and how he was prepared to do that. Maybe this exercise was good to prepare my mind. One other point I want to develop with you is the take-off risk. Our generation, I'm 46 years old, is not very confident with the risk. We were educated with the risk is really bad, and we have to avoid most of the risk. Unfortunately, in innovation, you have to take some risk. If we remind that Christopher Columbus in 1492 discovering America, maybe it's really difficult for us now to imagine that we can cross Atlantic Ocean with a wooden ship without tools, and to get through the ocean with a big crew, and to say, okay, now we do the same. We know that's very amazing to have did that, and it's really difficult for our generation to imagine to do the same thing, to cross the ocean with a piece of wood. Innovation, that's it. It's you use the tools of your time, and you try to do your best. And of course, it will be really difficult to know exactly what we will find at the end. He expected to find India, he found America. So mistake is just a part of innovation, of the way of innovation. Creation of new tools is imperative for innovation. And this is in our genes. You know the difference between Neanderthal and Sapiens. Neanderthal was just before Sapiens. It was able to create new tools with a piece of wood, with stones. And it was destroyed, eliminated by Sapiens, because Sapiens was able to combine people, to organize villages, to struggle against another village, and to use the tool developed by Neanderthal. So in our genes, we are able to create new tools in one end. In the other end, we are able to share and to have developed partnership, cooperation with somebody. I just want now to come back on how I was involved in our project. In 2008, I was assigned in the burn unit in the military hospital in Percy, and I was really proud to be in this unit. It's a very famous unit and take care of very severely burned patients. It was really hard to work in this unit. And I was intern in this unit, I was assistant in this unit. So I decided to work there. It was my own choice, and I was really happy to be there. I was really impressed by two persons. The first was the head of the department. He was a very kind person. His mind was always turned to innovation. He always keep in touch with the new things in medicines, what are the new publications, what could improve the care. And the second person was his deputy. His deputy was a Brittany, very strong character, and it was a very a good couple of persons, because you have one turned to the innovation and the other turned to the care. And he said always, okay, your idea is really good, but I don't want, it's bullshit. It's not usable for patients. You can put it in the trash and move to the next step and find something else. And I was educated in this mind to say, okay, you have many publications in medicines. You can't read anything. Every day you have many. I have many warning on PubMed, and I can't read everything every day. So you have many things. Most of us produce. We have to produce many things, but we really know that in all of those publications, only few of them will change something in the care of patients. So 2 years after I was in this unit, I received a call, and the CEO of a very small company asked request for an appointment, and said me, okay, I want to develop one product, still in research and development, and I want to develop one product with the use of natural viruses to struggle with bacteria resistant to antibiotics. Okay, it was okay. We met few days after, and I think this time is really important, because we're in my office. We are around a coffee. Everything is always around a coffee in France, or a glass of wine. But this time it was coffee. And he started to explain his project. He wanted to use genetically modified viruses combined in a cocktail to fight with bacteria. Okay. And at this moment, I hope you will feel that at this moment, I stopped to hear what he said. I had a very clear plan of how we had to organize something. In this idea, after a few minutes, I said, okay, it is really good. I think it's we can use it for our patients. The burn unit is the right place to do such clinical trial for human. It's never done before. We have to do that. But we have some difficulties, some concerns. First of all, the first one is to use genetically modified viruses. It's not possible in France. Actually, we are in 2008. If you want to do that, come back in 20 years. But at the time, it's not possible. And we stopped the discussion about that. But it was really clear in my mind that how we have to organize the things. It's what I can't say it was a revelation. It's not like that. It's not a mystic revelation. But you feel something that all the things seem to be really clear in your mind. And I told Jérôme, okay, you have 10 years for your development before the clinical application in human, before you have an authorization by the French regulator. Genetically modified viruses, you can forget them because it's not possible in France actually. Why I say that? I say that because after this appointment, I close the door of my office, we leave, and I get back to the ward, and I say, okay, it's really amazing. I'm really I expected to be involved in this project, but I'm not sure that I will see him again after what I said. And I saw him again. I saw him again a few weeks after, because he had some other appointments. He made some other persons, and the trust, the bond of trust, was created during this first meeting, because all what I said was confirmed by others, by the regulators, by other doctors who said, okay, you have for 10 years, see you later. And you have, I was alone to say, okay, I get the opportunity. We keep in touch if you want. but the way will be really a long way, very hard way. And this very short period, it was only 1 hour, I think it's really important. You have to feel something, and you have to, in few times, create a bond for trust. It is really important. Because after that, when you have the center very strong, a very close cooperation between some two persons, you can involve all the others, and you will. It will be necessary after to involve many people in your project. But all the people you have to involve know exactly that they can count on you. You are very, they can be confident with you. It's really important when you start from nothing. I felt something in this first relation. And what is easy after that, when you are convinced by something, it's easy when you organize a meeting with some people who are not convinced by the same thing. It's really easy to convince other people. Sure, we can have a discussion about the project just after, and I can have so much energy about that I'm sure I could give some energy for you to be interested in this project. The bond of trust in the partner with your partners is your positive energy, really. Because, of course, you will meet some negative energy. And all the persons who are, because they are not involved, yes, it was the case in our project at the end with university hospitals, because we had none in the project, or it's from some trouble with ego, you will ever met some difficulties with negative energy. You know, Sapiens is well organized to manage a good cooperation and partnership. So you can expect that with a very strong bond of trust, you can get over the negative point of view. Because usually, it was the case in our project, all negative mind or aspect of your project is not well organized, and it's easy to face negative points. You have to have very clear ideas and to simplify something, because most of the time you have to face very complex environment, and you have very short time for meeting with regulators, of course, with your partners, and with all your partners. You have clinical partners who are very skilled with medicine, with therapy, but you have some who are very skilled with pharmaceutical aspects of your project, and some other with pharmacovigilance of the aspects. And you have very short time with all of these people. So you have to have very clear ideas of your project, and to summarize very clearly why you have to use somebody and what you want him to do or what you have to do. And this is really important, because you know iPhone is a very useful tool. It's very useful because when you press an apps, it opens, and you don't know exactly how complex is the software behind. So everything should stay very simple in your mind, and you have to repeat something and to repeat very single message, even if you know that it's more complex that you can explain. One word about regulation, because this is the iceberg. During your project, you have, this is the aim of your project, the apparent aspect of what you want to know, and this is a job you have to do. This is biggest than what the people will see after. You know, innovation in medicine, you have to manage with regulators. Why I want to develop this aspect? We are really lucky in France, because you have many criticism about the French regulators, but we had not good but very excellent relationship with the French regulators. Of course, like the Belgian with the Swiss, but the pilot in this project was only supervised by the European Medicine Agency, but the pilot was the French agency. You know, when you believe in your product, we had the first request was for a patient, a young patient. And you know, it's really hard to think about that. I think it's the same request we made for Carmat. You know, it's artificial heart. You believe in your product, you have a request, you know that you are not at the end of the project and you are not able to give some strong answer. But your request is, can you use it? And you have a medical point of view and you say, okay, maybe it could be used and we have to do that. You have an industrial point of view and that say, okay, my product is not, I'm not fully sure of my product. And if the patient will die, maybe the development of my product will stop. And at this step, I can't allow the use, not because I'm not sure of it, but because it will compromise all the project. And you have the regulator point of view who say, okay, you have no clinical trial, you have no evidence, so we can't allow that. This is a very complex environment, and you have to keep in touch with your ethic. It's really difficult because all those persons around the table at the same time have very different point of view. You have the doctors, you have pharmaceutics, you have industrials, and the discussion should be really constructive. You have to explain your situation to the family. You have to answer the request. And you know, if you don't keep in touch, you can lose the trust very easy. Relationship, it's very difficult because it moves along the time. A project is for many years. You have many people involved, and be careful of who you will involve in your project. Don't let you impressed by the ego of persons, because it's really dangerous for all the project. If you are somebody, it's hard to know exactly why people want to join you, and you have many people that want to make few things and have many strong benefits just after. So keep that in mind. We are sapiens, we are humans, but some of us are really proud. They want to have more benefits that they have done in the project. And last item I want to share with you is the time. I can only give you some personal view about the time. You know, this is a pillar of creation. I see the size of Earth is maybe like this. It's a very small point in the universe. We are a very small point in the universe. So I think I don't have a very developed ego too much. I don't know where the project will drive me. I know exactly that phages were discovered 1 century ago. I was not born. I hope they will develop for many centuries, be helpful for people, but I don't know exactly why it starts with me and when it will stop for me. And this is good. This is good like that. You don't know exactly. You know, Christopher Columbus discovered America, but Amerigo Vespucci discovered probably America before he discovered that. So the time for me in this project, what was really nice is that the time was, I can touch the time. We are 7 years after the starting of the first time I met Jérôme, and 7 years after, the clinical trial is done, the results will be published before the end of this year. And we had treated 2 patients successfully with the new cocktails. The products the CEO developed after the results of the clinical trial. So I'm really proud of that. I didn't use the cocktail for the 2 patients. They were treated in another hospital of mine. But I'm really sure, because what I said to Jérôme 7 years ago was not wrong. Was wrong. It was not the truth. The time to use this product, it was not 10 years, but only 7. And I'm really very proud of that. That we developed a very useful product, which we have saved two patients. Never mind, it's not my problem, but my concern to have treated those patients. I'm really very proud to have helped them by the development of our clinical study. I say that because 5 years ago we requested the use of this product for 1 patient. The French regulator said it's not possible. We can't allow you. We don't forbid you to use them, but we don't allow you neither. And 7 years in, 7 years after, the regulator said, okay, we are agree, you can treat the patient. They have built groups of experts to think about the case reports they received, and the US wants to develop the product in the US. So I think it was a very, I feel that I bring few things in this project, but the advancement was really important in my opinion. So I spoke too much. And if you have any questions, I will be really happy to answer.